So how does this usually work?
Well, usually the trial starts and there's a judge and then, people say things.
You've never done this before, have you?
Well, I never drove a car before the first time I drove one and I'm still here, aren't I?
This is your first time? I'm your first? Don't worry, I promise not to be gentle.
Frank, it's nice to see you. One last time.
If it pleases the court...
It pleases the court to decide who speaks and when.
I'll sit down.
We're talking about $4,000 in withheld rent payments?
Yes, Your Honor, but we have receipts for repairs, lost clothing, as well as...
$4,000, yes, Your Honor. She was talking to me.
Why hasn't he paid, counselor?
That one was for you.
Bed bugs, Your Honor. I have receipts that show my client's financial outlay to rectify the problem far exceeds the amount.
Housing Department certified the presence of bed bugs?
Yes, Your Honor.
Abatement?
Let's give you.
I'll do. Yep.
Your Honor, this is an eviction hearing. The pertinent question is not habitability, but whether or not rent has been paid.
Actually, city code states that rent may be withheld if the warranty of habitability is breached.
In that case, we request to see the checks Mr. Ross's client has placed in escrow.
The
Checks in escrow, pending the outcome of a rent abatement hearing.
That's not in the code.
It is the accepted practice.
And therefore binding in this courtroom.
Your client did put money in escrow, I assume.
I didn't have any money left. I had
Your
to pay
Honor?
for everything.
Eviction upheld.
But Your Honor, he...
Did you see me bang the gavel? That means step aside. Next case.
You never forget your first.
You know what happens to pitchers when they get shelled in Rookie League, Mike? You think they make it to the bigs? Or do they just end up on some sad American Legion team of has-beens?
I get it. I lost. I'm sorry.
Well, you're sorry. In that case,
No, I am sorry. But right now, I have some research to do for Harvey, so if you'll excuse me.
remember when you stole that client I had you bring in? That was a good time for you, wasn't it? See, I gave you a nothing case so that when you did win, it would still do nothing for your career. But I still expected you to win. So yeah, I guess go back to your research. Maybe that is your niche.
Maybe it is. Karinsky owns 5 buildings, and they all used to be rent controlled, but now they go for $1.5 million a unit.
Nice profit margin.
I went to look for housing department complaints in the year prior to his remodel. In each one of them, tenants who couldn't buy into the conversion ended up with some complaint. Garbage, heat, air, all of them, one by one. Karinsky drove them out.
You couldn't get their names from housing complaints?
No, he gave me some names, but I need to make this bigger than just his building.
Look, I only get 1 hour off a day for lunch and I never take it. Do you really need me for this?
See these people who are leaving the building?
Mm-hmm.
The entire building looks like them. I know I clean up okay, but
You need me to class you up a bit.
not class, but
Class.
whatever gets you through the door. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Hi there. My wife and I are here to see some of the new units. Isn't that right, honey?
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think, sweetheart?
It's fine, but I like the place on 52nd better.
52nd, that's awful close to your mother.
No. We're not talking about my mother.
Okay, it doesn't matter to me. I mean, I love being near your mother. I love your mother.
So why don't you tell us something about your little building?
Well, I think you'll find that not only are the amenities top quality, so are the tenants.
That's good to hear. Because we're not just looking at buying square footage, but really put down some roots.
That is such the right way to look at it.
Is it?
Yes, and I think you'll also find that the people who've bought here, they're like you. They're young, ambitious.
We're acting.
Must you keep touching me? Is there a problem? Any other questions I can answer?
I'm sorry. My wife here, my beautiful wife, gets a little paranoid sometimes, You wouldn't believe how long it took her to just go out with me in the first place.
Forever.
Are there any other tenants who have been here for a while? You know, who might be able to show us the ins and outs of the place, the neighborhood?
Well, the building was totally renovated 2 years ago, so most of our tenants are newer. We only reopened in January. But I think there are some of the old tenants who bought in.
Do you think that we might be able to speak to them?
Just to be sure.
It would really make us feel more comfortable. Ow! Feisty. So in love.
Yes.
So in love.
Oh, you brought a sack lunch. We would have shared.
Amusing.
As was this, your little lawsuit.
Take your sack of presents and run, kid. You're in way over your head.
Oh, I think he'll be just fine. Hello, Vivian.
Hello. So the rookie called in the veteran.
No, I'm just here to watch. I love spectator sports.
You enjoy watching the Yankees destroy a little league team?
David and Goliath happens to be one of my favorite stories.
Okay. I'll bite. What's in the bag?
Hey, what are you doing?
Oh, do you recognize this carpet?
Make him get that out of here.
This is your own carpet, Mr. Karinsky. It's from Frank Carvello's apartment. Come on. You feel the fibers, the texture. It's almost alive.
You brought bed bugs in here.
Whoa. That's vandalism, assault.
You know, I'm happy that you put it that way because that's exactly what we're going to be charging your client with.
What are you talking about?
He didn't just fail to eradicate a bedbug infestation, he actually created one. Yeah, he pulled the carpet from one of his old buildings, carpet that was already infested, and then he reinstalled it in my client's apartment to drive him out.
That's crazy.
You might want to warn your client about perjury. We've got sworn testimony from the installer.
And a picture of the same carpet from one of his old buildings before it was renovated. By the way, my wife and I really love what you've done with the place. So it looks like we're talking about what? Assault, violations of rental codes, health codes, and just basic codes of human decency.
And if a jury in New York heard all that, wow, imagine the damages.
Harvey, spectate, please.
Just get that carpet out of here.
So, Vivian, how am I doing for my first time? This still counts as my first time, doesn't it? Now, let's talk about how much this is going to cost you.